But I got Crazy Cabbie. Is it Crazy? No, just Cabbie. Is it Lee? What are we going by? Hello, Lee.
I'm just me. I'm Lee. So now is this for you or is this for me?
This is for me, and then I will post it to you.
I like that. I see you got a lot of how long you been doing this thing, Brad?
6 years. 6 years since 2016, and moved it into a video podcast about a year and a half ago.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Well, what's up with you? What are you doing? Tell us where you're at, and what we haven't seen you, we haven't heard from you. I know that you're in a wheelchair. If people see you, tell us what's going on with Lee. And what are we calling you? Lee, Cabbie? I need to know.
You can call me Cabbie. I like Cabbie.
Okay.
Cabbie's all right. Yeah, because that's kind of the name I built that name. I got what's called CIDP, and it's a neurological disorder that attacks the autoimmune, and it's basically paralyzed me from the waist down. And it's more of a paresis, not a paralyzation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And will you ever be able to walk again, or you're going?
Very, very rare. It's very rare. I don't think I'll ever be able to walk again. I actually want to cut my legs off because they don't work anymore. And it's like you see the guys with the robot legs, like the vets that like got their legs blown off, and like I feel for those guys. But at the same time, it's like I wish I had legs that worked, and I used to have legs that work, and I can't. I can stand to like maneuver and like take a shit, but I can't walk. As far as I know, I'll never walk again. And in December, it started out, it was called GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome. And in 2019, I had a doctor, a neurologist, one of the premier neurologists at the VA, tell me, you're never going to walk again. And I have walked since then. So, I have a positive outlook. So that's it. That's me, man.
You do rehab and all that, or do you even attempt?
Yeah, I go to the VA. I'm doing rehab now. I do my own rehab. I was during COVID. Actually, I was in a VA hospital in Lyons, New Jersey for 18 months. And we couldn't have visits. We couldn't have anything. And I did my own rehab in there when they weren't even doing rehab. So, dude, you know me. I'm a fucking go-getter, bro. I don't fuck around.
Now, I've tried to do this for a year. We've been discussing this, and I'm very excited that you called me. I was so excited. I got a call. It said Lee, and I said, Lee, there you are. Now, is this right? Let me guess. Hold on. You're going to do a podcast too, right? Is this what I hear?
Yeah, this is actually probably going to be like the launch of my podcast with you, because I'm going to do a podcast. I'm thinking about calling it the Alkalites. You know what an Alkalite is? They follow people, whether it's religious or otherwise. And I got a lot of friends like you. I've garnered friends throughout the industry over the years, and I think that I could maybe use some of those friends that have followed me. And for God's sakes, I was looking. Somebody sent me a link. I guess some guy's got hundreds of hours of Stern shit he's throwing up on YouTube. Not hundreds of hours, but I'm in some of it, and it's like a 12-part series. Well, I didn't know that. I never knew. I never knew people cared. Does that make sense?
Oh, people cared. People cared. People always said to me, and when I would do these, because I told you who's been on, Doug, Goodstein, and Scott DePay, and just run through the list, and they go, what about Cabbie? Yeah. Is Cabbie coming on? I'm like, I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying.
Well, now you got him.
So
you got him.
Where did you go after the Stern Show? I think it was, 06, 07, I think was your last kind of really appearance on there. A little controversy.
I went into radio oblivion. I did some shit on satellite, and I did some stuff in New York City, and I just got sick of it. And I was like, you know what? This isn't the way for me. And I knew that radio was a dying game. I was the guy in 2000 with music on my phone and showing the bosses and shit at CBS and telling them they need to get on the internet. And they didn't fucking listen to me. They didn't care. They thought, oh, what's this guy? He's a fucking DJ. What does he know? But I was the same guy who brought them White Stripes. I brought them fucking Queens of the Stone Age. I brought them System of a Down and said, yo, you guys got to play this shit because it's good music. Because that's what the people want to hear. And, they used to have, and I know one of them, John Manelli. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He's what do you call them guys?
Program director, probably.
No, not a program director, because Kingston was the program director. You remember that prick?
I don't know him, but I seemingly he was.
He was. Yeah, he was good, but he was bad. He was a hardcore. You know, a program director. I mean, they're the hardcore, but no, not the analysts. What do they call them? The guys who come in and they
consultant.
The radio
Consultants.
Yes. The consultants thought they knew better. By the way, look at my Christmas lights. You want to see?
Yeah. Let's take a look around. Did you put those up?
The state of Florida. And I put the tree up too. Look, this is my tree. I took it from the this was the tree they used in the lobby, and it was the like Thanksgiving tree. And I said, well, I need a Christmas tree, so I got a Christmas tree.
Where are you living these days? What area are we in?
I'm in Raleigh, bro. I fled New Jersey. Where are you? You're in St. Louis, right?
Yeah. Your friend Rizzuto.
Do you like it there?
Yeah, it's fine. I grew up here, family, friends. I'm stuck. You get stuck.
No, I know. Listen, I'm a Minnesota boy. I was stuck there for a long time, but I had to flee. I lost my teeth. Look at this. Look at this. Look what the VA did to me. Ready?
Oh, that's actually, you look like a hockey player. You look like you can play for the St. Louis Blues.
My teeth are rotten. I know. That's the cool thing. I do look like a hockey player, but I'm not a hockey player. I'm fat.
No more trim spa. No more I-57.
No more trim spa. It's funny though. I got an offer the other day. I used to be big on selling the dick pills. And somebody reached out to me, and they have a dick pill from France. It's called Clavinet, and they want me to promote it. And it's a good dick pill because I've tried it, and actually being a guy in a wheelchair who's you can't call it paralysis because I can still move. Like I can show you, like I can move my feet. Like see,
got your dancing shoes on. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, those are actually Mephisto. You know Mephisto?
No.
Oh, they're the best shoes in the world. They're like $500 a pair of those shoes. You know why I got them? Because they're sexy fucking Italian leather, baby.
Say not for a walk-in, not to be funny, but
it would be better if I could walk, but I can't. So I might as well just wear expensive shoes, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember when you were on the Stern show and then you weren't, and Howard got kind of pissed at you at the very end. How long do you think that could have lasted for you if you just sort of just did your thing? I mean, he gave you so many chances. I was curious about just your thoughts of what happened at the end.
You know what though? But he didn't give me any chances because I didn't work for him. Does that make sense?
It does.
Like I was just like I was a strap hanger. Like I was like a rider on the subway. I just went in there to entertain people. I never gave a shit about, like, dude, fame, fortune, nothing. It was all about music and having fun and fucking entertaining people. That's all it was for me, man. I didn't give a shit.
You were in
I gave everything, and everything I said and everything I ever did was real. That was the shit. My shit was real.
But he really enjoyed you. You're in his inner circle. He would call you. There's so many hangers on there back there that would just die for that sort of relationship. And somehow he picked you.
I didn't. Maybe I could have cultivated it different, but to me, he was like a work person. So I didn't ever consider him a friend. Like we were friends, like we were work friends. But like, dude, he never put himself out there like he was a real friend. My real friends do shit for me, and I do shit for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just moved to North Carolina. I fled a 20-year relationship that you know, it was good while it lasted, but I'm in a better thing right now. But it was like he didn't reach out as a real human. He just, you know, everything he wanted was, you know, whatever. This is how he put it to me. Anytime you want to come on the show, you can come on the show. You got carte blanche. Okay, well, that's great, but that doesn't mean we're friends.
Did you know that back then, or did you realize that after?
No, I knew that back then. I knew it all the way. That's why I never tried to cultivate it. I knew what he was. He was using me for me. He was using me like he did everybody, dude. I mean, if you didn't know Howard Stern, I mean, you know that everybody he was around, whether it was a whack packer or whatever, they were all just pieces in the. You know, he's a chess player. He's a chess master.
Did you have any contact with him?
He did it good.
Any contact with him at all lately in the last 10 years, 5 years?
Never. Not once. Not once. I send him, every once in a while, I send him random emails, just like some disturbing shit, just to see if he'll respond. He doesn't.
You had a disturbing, did you have a disturbing tape, or did that happen of him? I thought I saw somewhere along the way.
I'm just going to say that, yeah, it happened, and I got rid of it. So I did the right thing instead of doing the wrong thing.
I had Booker.
I had some friends in the government who took a good video, and hey, you know, but
Did you see it?
Huh?
Did you see it?
I saw everything of it. I could still put it out, but you know, I'm not a dickhead, dude. I'm not.
Were you there?
That's what people think. People always thought I was an asshole. I was never an asshole. I was just.
It came up a lot, especially when I interviewed Booker. I liked Chris Booker. I don't know how you feel about him these days, but
I like Booker. Booker was always decent to me. We never had any. We never had fallings out. I always laughed that he went for J-Lo's. What was her sister or whatever?
Yeah. Linda Lopez.
Linda Lopez.
We talked about the night though that Howard met Beth, and you were there, right? And can you kind of recount that night for us? Because a lot of people said, "Oh, Cabbie has a different story," and I don't remember even what Booker said. But
I have the real story. She was talking to me, and he came up and jocked my dick, like he totally jocked me, dude. She's a fucking Minnesota girl. She's like Northwest, like fucking. All the way. Dude. He was being Howard Stern. He walked up and took that shit away from me. Whatever. I didn't care. I mean, I wasn't with anybody, and I was like, whatever. You know.
Could have been Beth Morozak, huh?
Beth, no, she's not my type. I would have fucked her though. Maybe I did. We'll never know.
It was fun.
I don't tell no tales.
I remember.
But I do tell tales.
Well, we have to get into that. I remember when she started coming around though, and that was like one of the funniest parts of the show, in a non weird way. A weird way is everyone was telling Howard how hot Beth was. I mean, stuttering John and Gary, and then the callers. Oh, it was the most weird thing that I think ever. That is the weirdest thing that someone had to have that sort of kind of assurement of his girlfriend, that everybody had to come in and ask, "Oh, Howard, Beth, oh my God, Beth." It was pretty weird. He's a weird guy, but that was a weird time, and you were around for that.
Well, dude, he I don't know, but I think he turned into what he never thought he would be. Is he, you know, he needed to be stroked. So like, because he's so like he's a very unattractive man. I mean, you've seen him. Is he attractive?
Well, he looks like Fran Lebowitz now.
He looks like Rick Ocasek ate an insect and spit it out, and then it became Joey Ramone.
That's pretty good. How are you and Stuttering John? I think you've talked to him, but you guys had that great boxing thing. Were you now? I know that seemingly got real, right? And once you guys started really getting into each other, or was that?
I wanted to kill him. I wanted to do a fight without a boxing match. There was no way. I just hang on. I'm gonna go in the house now because you're gonna get me all agitated. Not in a bad way, in a good way. I'm gonna go in the house. Hang on. I gotta roll in the house. Oh, hang on. No, dude, that shit was real. I fucking hated that guy. I always hated that guy. I still hate that guy. He called me. I don't even. Oh shit! I dropped the phone. It's under the fucking. Hang on. Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go. I fucking. Hang on. He called me. I don't even know how he got my cell phone number, but he got a hold of it. I'm guessing Gary gave it to him. He got my cell phone number and he called me while I was in a fucking hospital at the VA, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do my podcast?" And I was like, "No, dude." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, I'm dealing with this fucking health issue. I'm crippled and in a 500-pound wheelchair. And granted, now look at me. I'm not in a 500-pound wheelchair. I'm in a 30-pound wheelchair that costs $10,000 because I'm the fucking big mouth that got it from the VA. But Stuttering John calls me while I'm in the fucking hospital, and he's like, "Hey, man, you should come on my fucking podcast." I was like, "Dude, I'm not into a podcast right now." Just like you. You asked me, and you fucking didn't sweat me. He goes, "You have to be on my podcast the first thing when I was like, who listens to just Stuttering John's podcast? Do people actually listen?
I have no idea.
I don't even know. Does he still have a podcast?
I don't know.
So guess what? Before I did this with you, I called. I called him 3 times because 3's my number. And see, one hand is open, one hand is closed. I called him 3 times. He never fucking answered. I gave him every opportunity. Stuttering John can suck my dick. I will fucking eat his face, even as a fucking cripple. I won that fight. That was a fix.
I remember that press conferences. We were almost getting into press conference mode there, which was hilarious.
Remember that?
It was so good.
That's legendary video right there, right?
It was good. Another legendary video. You and Ron Jeremy kind of worked together, correct? Is that true?
Yes, the rapist, Ron Jeremy. Yes, I always hated that guy, and everybody who ever knew me knew I fucking hated that guy, and I always said he was a freaky pervert, and now he's a rapist, and he's going to go to prison for the rest of his life. Thank God.
What?
Thank God. And guess what? I still have that movie, and wait till you see when I release it. I'm going to release it. You know what? I'm going to release some clips on your show.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's an exciting exclusive. I can't.
You're going to help me promote my show, right?
We're together here, Cabbie, or Lee, or what
We're together. I think we'd be good together, actually.
How was your relationship with Baba Booey over the years?
You know, it was always good. Baba Booey was a good dude, man. He was always real. He was always good. I never fucked him. He never fucked me. It was always, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a straight shooter. Straight shooter, man. Dude, he found my mother, for God's sakes.
Right. You keep in touch with her?
He passed away Veterans Day last year. Veterans Day last year. And it's really fucked up because my stupid family, who claims to be my fucking family, and I'm telling you right now, because they're fucking scumbags, they told me via text the day after she fucking died, dude. That's sad.
That's not good. Sorry about that.
No, dude, I let her adopt me back. You know that, right? Nobody knows that story.
Tell it.
Well, I let her, after I met her in 2003, I let her adopt me back because she was my mother, and the people who raised me were horseshit. So I let my mother adopt me back, and it was the greatest thing I ever did because I gave her that before she died.
Yeah, that's cool. I was going to ask you about her. I'm sorry to hear about that. What was prison like for you? You went in there for a little bit. Tell me a little bit about what those years. Prison was
it was all right. I mean, you say prison, but like I was in a federal prison, so it was different. wasn't really all right. They fucking tortured me. They tortured me, yeah, because of my relationship with Howard Stern. They tortured me. I was in the hole for at least, what did I do, like 180 days in solitary? At least. It was, dude, and then they sent me up to, I was at a FMC, I was at Fort Devens, which is a medical place, and the only reason they sent me to the medical place is because they said I tried to kill myself. Do you know that?
No.
The federal, the fucking guard said that I was in the hole at Fort Dix, and granted, how long was my sentence? 1 year. And they said I was going to kill myself because I was in a prison for a year for taxes.
That's
right.
And a lot of people don't go there for tax evasion. Most people get like a slap on the wrist, right?
Well, yeah, and the guy who sentenced me was Judge Gleason, right? And he's the guy who sentenced John Gotti. He's the guy who got John Gotti. And he said it when he sentenced me, he said, I'm going to make an example of you. So I got made an example of. They wanted, originally, this is a true story, the prosecutor, what do you call it, he was the Eastern District, because I was in the Eastern District in New York City, because I was Staten Island. He wanted to give me 30 years. 30 years for not filing my taxes. Because that's what the statute is. It's the crime in America is not in not paying your taxes. It's in not filing the tax returns.
Got to do that.
And that's what I didn't do since 1992. Oh, and by the way, you know, I went on the radio and I said, I'll pay my taxes when the government cures my Gulf War syndrome. You know, in 2008, I got rated 180% disabled from the federal government for Gulf War syndrome. So, yeah, exactly. Go fuck yourself, Uncle Sam, you ball-eating dick bags.
Any new tattoos? Quite interesting life you've had here. Any new tattoos?
No, I have no tattoos that are new. I got to get one covered up, though, because it's got a girl's name, and I'm with a new girl, so you know how that works.
Yeah, congrats, man. You still got game. You look great. Talk to Artie at all? Is Artie Lang's got his podcast? You guys kind of been running the same.
I heard. What is up with him? You've heard his podcast?
I've heard a little bit of it. I guess he's been taping a lot of them while in COVID quarantine or whatever he's up to. So it sounds like he's got kind of a boatload. He'll probably have you on, I would think.
What is the fucking COVID quarantine, bro? I had COVID. I had it the first layer in the VA when 200 guys were put in their rooms and they died at the VA in Lyons, New Jersey. They fucking murdered men. Did you read my article?
I heard about this. Yes, you told me.
Yeah. These people. And then you got a guy like Artie, no offense, but dude, COVID lockdown. What, dude, just go live your fucking life.
I think it was more of a lockdown from society. It wasn't his was not COVID based, I would say. How about that?
Yeah, I would say it would be heroin based, probably.
You guys ever get together?
I don't know Artie.
Did you guys ever get?
I don't know Artie. No, I never did drugs with Artie.
It's interesting.
You know what? That'd be a fun thing. I probably should have. Although we might both be dead now. We'd be like two Chris Farleys laying on his fucking living room floor.
Well, yeah, quite an interesting life. I'm really enjoying our time here. So, what are you're gonna do a podcast? Tell us what you're gonna be up to here in the next couple of years. What you're rolling around. You look good. It feels like you're seemingly healthy here in the mental. Everything sounds good. Tell me what you're gonna do here.
I'm gonna do a podcast, and I'm gonna bring my friends in. I would like you to help me with it. If you're willing and able.
We'll see what we can do. It's hard to do virtually, but we set this up. Kind of took a little bit, but we got it together.
We did set it up, and I'm so glad that I was able to talk to you finally, because you've been asking for a while to do it, and I said I would do it.
And we did it. We did. It's a Christmas miracle.
It is a Christmas miracle. It's better than anything that Jimmy Stewart ever did.
Cabbie, Lee, I don't have anything else. Is there anything you want to add to the folks out there before we say goodbye and have Merry Christmas to everybody?
Nah, just look out for the podcast. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna bust ass, and I'm just going to be me. That's it. That's all I can be. And hopefully people like it.
Well, it was awesome seeing you and hearing you, and I hope everybody out there enjoyed it. Timer, welcome me, welcome you. Everybody welcome Cabbie, Lee. What are we calling you today?
You can just call me Lee. That's fine. I'm Cabbie. Fuck it. I'll always be stuck with that.
Are you crazy, Cabbie?
You know, my life has been crazy lately, but no, I'm not crazy.
Wah, 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 wah.
Crazy. Hang on a second. I'll show you how crazy I am.
He's rolling off, folks.
I'm drinking peach wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be good. This will be an interesting chat.
Straight out of the bottle.
Yeah. It's a Monday. Well, I mean, why not? It was a long day. You probably had a lot of...
It's almost 5 o'clock.
It's somewhere. Did you hear me I was doing your song. I was wah, 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 wah. Do you love the song still?
I couldn't hear it. Is that's one of the legendary Stern songs, isn't it?
Yes. Do you enjoy the way that was put together? That was a pretty iconic song.
That took a lot of skill. I mean, there's a lot behind. Some of the productions they did were amazing, but that one, I think that one kind of hit the mark up high.
Yeah, I mean,
it annoyed the shit out of me. Everybody else loved it.
But what's great is there's that part where the guy, I don't even know who did it actually, but you could play that.
I think it was Fred.
Oh, could it? I mean, the singer was like a caller. It felt like.
Yeah, I don't know that Fred was the caller, but I'm pretty sure Fred was behind some of the writing on that.
Well, it was written well. We'll have to. We're going to find out who did it, and that'll be like a new thing.
Have you ever interviewed Fred?
No, I don't think any of those guys that are still working there are coming on this show. I got to say, until they're. But I did see, and you can take a look at my channel or my short, whatever. They are hiring someone to work on their video production department. I've never seen them actually actively put out something on LinkedIn. Video producer.
Well, they got such a he's got such a stock of video, man. I mean, he could put a channel out and it just be the Howard Stern channel, and he could just run old episodes of his show. I don't know why he doesn't. He could.
Yeah. Are you listening to the show? Do you listen to the show these days?
I haven't heard it in years, man. I never listened to it when I was on it, and I don't listen to it now. When I listen to the radio, I listen to music. I'm not a talk radio guy, and I've heard the Stern show. I mean, I've heard it years ago, but I've heard it's not what it used to be. That's what I heard.
It's pretty depressing. It's depressing. So I've been doing a little wrap up here each day. I've thought, okay, I'll put out what he's saying and I'll listen to the show. So I've been listening like as a job, and it's hard. It's not fun. It's missing, I think, the cast of characters that would come in and a crazy cabbie, a KC. He used
to use us so good, man. He was the master of ceremonies.
Yeah. And
I don't know what happened. He stopped doing all that and started interviewing left wing liberal stars, and he's a Libby now too.
Yeah. Well, that's the second part that because I've been listening. This is the first time when Artie left, it was like, I don't need this show. And it's just not I don't want to hear him and Robin have a conversation.
Everybody says that, man. Artie was the ball breaker. When he left, everybody left too.
But making fun of celebrities was the secondary part. The constant bashing of Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen and all the people that now come onto the show. It's like,
yes. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah. How the mighty have fallen. But see, he doesn't care because he's got more money than God. So, I mean, what is he worth? Like $300 million or something?
Something. It's so weird though, because his father did just pass a couple months ago. I think over the summer last.
He did?
Yeah. So.
Oh, that sucks. I know he was really a family boy.
Yeah, but it's a lot of that. There's everyone who comes on, he has his psych session with. So, how are you doing? So we talked about a year and a half ago. You were doing well, it seemed. I know you're in a wheelchair still, but I know, and you had a fall. But you look good. You sound good. You're drinking red wine or pink wine. Tell me what's going on in.
Right now, I'm still on the mend. I had a spiral fracture of my first in September. Was it September? Yeah, it was September. I had a spiral fracture of my tibia and fibula. So that was my lower leg. I got surgery. They shoved a rod in my leg about this long. Seriously, he said it's the longest rod we can put in somebody. It's as long as your femur. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So it'll stabilize me. He goes, yeah. So they sent me home. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks because I couldn't put load weight on it. And I get home, and within 2 weeks, I fall again, and I shatter my femur. And did I send you pictures?
I think I saw Facebook.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. Thank God for the neuropathy in my lower body because I couldn't feel it as much. But, dude, it was the most pain I've ever been in my life.
That sucks. Are you? Do you?
Yeah, they put a huge plate on my femur bone, and then they put it all back together around my knee. They got I think they got 10 or 15 screws, those long screws they shove in you. It's pretty insane.
Wah, 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 wah. See, there it is. What
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like you're doing better.
Here I go crying again about my life, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, and I know that you've been really battling. And
do a GoFundMe, man. Come on, let's make some money.
All right, you do that. Good luck. What Are you working? Are you good?
In a minute.
Are you working? Do you want to work? Can you work? Tell me a little.
I'd like to work, but I'm currently handicapped, so I'm on disability, and that pays my bills. But I would like to work, but it's tough for me to get around. I'm in a wheelchair, so travel is a bitch. And I'd work if somebody'd hire me. I don't know. But now with the internet and Zoom like this is crazy.
You could DJ from home. You could be playing Pantera's next greatest song right there from your house.
Pantera doesn't. I don't think Pantera has any more hits in left them. Aren't they all dead?
Yeah, Dimebag, I guess, got. Well, I don't want to get into what happened to Dimebag, but it was a tough night for him.
Dimebag.
Yeah,
he was a good guy, man. He didn't deserve to go out that way.
So is it? And I don't even know if we covered this last. Are you never gonna walk, or is it possible to do anything that can help you?
Right now, it looks like never. I don't know. The possibilities of me healing, they don't know. They don't know because it's like a unknown thing. This neuropathy of the lower portion, or neuropathy of any part of your body. I mean, dude, my legs are dead. They're like numb. I can't. I mean, I can stand, but I can't walk yet. I'm not even. I'm barely putting any pressure when I take a shit because I slide onto. I got a commode over my toilet, so I slide from my wheelchair onto the commode. I get on the commode, I do my business, and I slide back without really getting up. So it's a battle, it's a struggle, but I don't know. I deal with it, and I hope to walk again, but I think it's going to take a lot of therapy and a really, really good therapist to help me. I had some with Duke, but they only came for a short time after I was out of surgery. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You seem positive, though.
I am positive, man. Life's too short. I never get negative. I never have been a negative person, and I never will be. Even at the worst of times in my life, I can get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nothing can bring me down.
Last time we talked, we ran through a lot of the things. I went back and thought, man, you were in that inner circle with Howard. How often did you guys hang out? And I think one of the lines that I really liked that you said, you're like, we were work friends. I didn't think anything about it, but it was nice that we.
That's exactly it. We were work friends. I never looked to. It's like Stuttering John. I never hung out with him. Never, not once. Never. I never went to the bar with him. I never went out for dinner with him. He never invited me to anything. He was a loser and I was a loser, so we were both kind of losers at the same time. But yeah, they were all just people I worked with. I mean, I had sex with a few of the interns, but that's just part of being a radio disc jockey.
Were they guys or girls? I have to ask. I mean, you were into.
There were girls. Definitely girls.
I mean, did you ever get Casey trapped in a room? I mean, you seem to.
No,
it was always fun.
Casey probably break my neck. I don't know that He seems like one of those guys who like to wrestle with you. He puts you in the submission hold and puts you down there, and you'd be stuck.
You would like that, though. It's I mean, I remember what did you?
No, I don't know. He's cute and all, but I don't know. No, I don't like forced sex. Prison sex doesn't turn me on.
Now, the other thing we didn't really get into, and the longer it goes by, maybe you'll be able to talk about. You had naked pictures of Howard, right? You went on Opie and Anthony and talked about this. Can you talk?
Man.
How did you?
Well,
can you?
I had a whole video. Yeah, I know. People say I should have sold it and made millions, but there's some things you don't do. There's like a guy code, I think.
But you go out and threaten him on his competitor's show. That's
of course I would. They got me fired. I got fired. So what are they gonna do?
How does one come about this tape? I mean, someone had to be as pissed off.
I got it from some friends who in the business who, let's just say, they used to provide security for people like Howard. So it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I got it from some roadie on a fucking tour bus. But yeah, he was in a nice place and he was having sex. There you go. It's all gone though. I got rid of it.
Yeah, I know. What, your mom? I got confused.
My mom, she passed away now.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Now, was this your?
She's dead.
This is your real mom, adopted mom? I'm confused by the family tree a little bit. Which mom was this?
Yeah, nobody gets the story. Here's the story, okay? Howard found my mom. Gary and the crew found my mother. And when I went to Minnesota to meet the rest of the family, I allowed her, because I wasn't close to my adoptive family, I allowed my mother to adopt me back. So she became she was my biological mother, but then in the eyes of the state of Minnesota, she became my real mother too. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so I had her adopt me back. I took her name. It was her father's, not her father, her husband's name out of respect to him. I'm going to change it again, though, because he turned out to be a little bit of an asshole. At the end. Yeah, when she died, he was an asshole. They told me by text 2 days later. Yeah, right?
That's an asshole. Right? Do that for me. Dickus.
I still see that shit on the internet. Like, it'll be in a comment thread. Somebody will just, like, I'll be looking at stuff, like videos or whatever, and you read the comments, and somebody will say, Dickus.
That's a legacy. See, I was thinking about that too, because I research for these things. Believe it or not, I actually have to put in some.
That's a made up word, man. That's a made up word. Some chick I was dating made that word up.
We were talking about that inner circle stuff with you and Howard, though. Like, tell me any other fun stories or shit that you saw that maybe 10, 20 years ago you wouldn't want to talk about, but now you're like, screw it, I'm drinking pink wine, I'm talking to Brad, let's talk about it.
It is pink wine. I wish I could give you more dirt, dude.
Yeah.
I really, the dirt I have would be on myself. Like, I have a porno that I produced that in Howard's studio that I don't know if I'm going to put it out, but I might release it on the internet for streaming folks. It's a really bad movie. Jeremy's in it. He's got dementia now.
Yeah, well, and this is the one you shot in the studio, right? This is where you.
Right, yeah. I got the infamous rapist Ron Jeremy in it.
What was the thought process going through your mind at this point of shooting in the studio, and how did you?
I thought there's the King's Throne. Nobody's had sex on it. I don't know if they have. So I had sex on it a few times with a few girls, and then I told my buddy, I was like, dude, we should record this. Like, we're in Howard's studio, the realm, the theater of the gods. Like, we should record this. And he's like, okay, I'll get the cameras.
How did
That was it.
Isn't it locked? How do you get in there? I mean,
it was locked, but I knew where the key was. You know where they kept the key? You worked in a radio station, right?
I worked at TV, so this will probably be the same.
Okay, same thing. You know the light that's like up on the door that says on air outside a studio? It was hidden inside that. That's where they hid it. And I saw somebody put it there one day, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. So I went over and I found it, and I was like, oh, it's a key. And Howard's studio was always locked until that day.
What year was that? Because you didn't get in any trouble.
That was like 2000. That was right when I got there, man.
And when did it become known that you did that? That was after you left in 2007, right? Did you? Yeah,
it was way after I left. Well, I think they probably knew. I think people probably knew, but nobody could prove it because Ron Jeremy kept trying to release some of it. And I was like, bro, you don't have the releases. Like, I own that movie. That's my movie. I don't want that shit out there. That's garbage, first of all. And second of all, you're going to get me fired or blackballed from radio. Nobody will ever hire me again. Because once something comes out like that, they're going to think that, oh, well, he's going to do that here if we hire him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I should just put it out on a, maybe you can help me. I want to
No part.
stream it.
No part. I want no part. I want nothing to do with it. Well, how did Ron Jeremy get involved? Did you tell, was he around? Did you tell?
My friend Brentley knew him. I have a friend named Brentley of all things. And Brentley knew Ron Jeremy intimately and said, hey, Ron wants to work with you. And I was like, I said, I don't really like Ron Jeremy. I mean, he's cool to watch in porn and shit, and Ron showed up and I knew he was a creeper. I said it from the very beginning. I was like, yo, this dude's weird, man. Like, he's always pawing at chicks. He's just fucking whipping his dick out. He thinks that everybody should suck on his dick. And I was like, and he never paid for anything, and that's what bothered me. He never paid for anything. And of all the people that were in the room, he had the most money. And he never paid, not one time. Like, I pay all the time. I always cover my shit, and I cover my friends, too, if I have to. But he never paid, and I told my friend, I'm like, dude, I don't trust that guy. And it comes out he's a fucking serial rapist.
Yeah.
And now he's in prison with dementia.
You were right. You were right again. Now, wait a minute. So this video means you're going to be in it? We're going to have to see your naked ass?
I could edit that out if you want.
Yeah, just leave that out. Well,
should I put a blurb over it? Like your face dancing over my ass?
Don't even try. Just use Elvis back there. Use the Elvis picture.
Elvis is king. Oh, rest in peace, Lisa Marie. What was that? Lisa that died?
Yeah, very young.
Yeah, pretty sad.
Yep. That was a good.
Keep up on my Elvis. He liked peach wine too.
Were you in there that day she came in? She came into the show one day, and I think you were around during that time, right?
I don't know that I remember. I never met her. She's awesome. I always loved her. Hey, dude, I love anything Elvis. You too, obviously.
Yeah. My dad drew those. That's the art from my father that I have hanging in my. I guess the other thing we didn't talk about, people asked through the comments, the weight loss thing. I don't think I was listening this day. So you came in. I guess if people were like, oh, Howard didn't know that you came in to plug something. Howard said, Cabbie's here to plug something. And then after it went shitty, Howard's like, I didn't know he was coming in to plug. Is that exactly how that worked, right?
That's exactly how that worked. You're good.
So what happened there?
That's exactly how that worked. I had set up a deal with a weight loss company that was going to advertise on the station and exclusively on Stern's channels. And then Ralph came in and Gary came in and Shuli came in and they all submarined it, man. And they should have known, like, that was my shtick. Like, I was the guy who plugged shit. Like, how did I make my living?
And that was the end, right? You could have continued to go in and you worked. So wait, you worked at Sirius, right? Did you come over with Howard, or you just came over to do music stuff?
No, I went over by myself. When I got out of prison, I auditioned on Sirius to replace somebody, and I didn't get the job. And I was a little mad because when I was in prison, Stern kind of promised me, hey, when you get out, we'll take care of you if you ain't got a job. And I was like, okay. Well, when I got out, that didn't happen. So that was another reason I was a little bitter with the sex tape. I should have released it. Maybe I will someday.
The sex tape. I can't believe though you destroyed the smoking gun though. The nude, disgusting.
Well, honestly, I thought it would bring nothing but bad upon me. I did. So karma, karma's a bitch, and karma works throughout the universe, even after you're gone. So, like my mother said, do what's right, not what you think is right.
Yeah. Are you following what Stuttering John's up to these days? I think he seems to like to.
Oh my God, I've heard so much. What's going on? Tell me some of it.
I don't follow. I just see wars. Him and Shuli have this long running war, and now KC's got it's the battle of all you.
KC's inserted into it. Isn't Anthony Cumia in it too?
I would assume. I would think everybody really. I'm trying to stay out of it myself. I like to watch from this.
Everybody should pile on Stuttering John.
Do you think you could still kick his ass in the state you're in now?
Oh yeah, totally. It's funny. I was asking. My girlfriend said, she goes, Lexi's her name. She goes, have you ever been in another boxing match or thought about it? And I was like, I thought about wheelchair boxing, but I don't think it would work because you can't swing and hit the other guy. It'd be like this. It'd be kind of comical. But then she sent me this video of this guy flipping another guy over, two guys in wheelchairs getting a confrontation on Reddit. And the one guy flips the other guy over and tries to stab him.
Maybe kangaroo fighting, maybe.
Yeah, with my dead legs.
What's this girl, Lexi? How long have you been with this?
We've been together, God, it's got to be coming up on 3 years now, I think. She's amazing. She's got a beautiful daughter, and I'm in love. So it's part of the reason, most of the reason I moved to Raleigh.
You're in Raleigh, North Carolina now. Does she live with you? Or are you guys together at all times?
No, she's got her own house. I live in an apartment downtown. Pretty fucking expensive, let me tell you. You don't realize it until you start paying rent again, how much it is. Because I was paying a mortgage before, but I'm back to paying rent. But no, she's got a big, beautiful house. She got it's probably a mansion in most people's eyes. But, nobody would believe me if I told them, so I don't have to tell them. I'll tell you, and they can deny it. But yeah, I'm dating a beautiful woman with a beautiful house and a beautiful kid.
It's awesome. Are you like
how are you doing? What's love life like?
Stepdad? I'm married, happy as shit, trying to retire, and got a 14-year. We have a 14-year-old. She had him earlier in her life, and that's enough. It's plenty. It's enough.
Enough for you.
Yeah, we want. I mean, we're just talking. We were trying, and now we're at the point where he's old, and we're like, well, we can retire here soon. Let's not f this up.
How's the podcast doing for you? You doing good?
It's fine. It just people like the Howard stuff. People enjoy this channel. I've talked to buddies of mine trying to maybe switch up what I'm going to do. People enjoy kind of hearing from you guys, and there's more. I got a couple other folks who have kind of said they'd come on. It's just fun to hear, and I like the stories. I like to hear about, just the E guys, and I'm looking.
Oh my God, the old school. Like my girl asks me all the time because Hank the Angry Dwarf was her favorite, and she's like, "Do you have any Hank the Angry Dwarf stories?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I met him." She's like, "That's enough for me."
Did you do anything with Beetlejuice? Did you ever have any interactions with him?
Oh my God, I had tons of interactions with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was the shit. I never went out partying with him though, because he was always controlled by his handlers.
He's got a good.
Beetlejuice was smarter than the equipment. He knew what was going on.
Oh, so on this channel, I interviewed his guy Bobby Rooney. I think was it Jeff? Who was? Now I can't even think of the guy who's. Anyway, Bobby is handling him now, and we had this long conversation, and I walked away from it thinking, that's awesome. Beetle really does understand what the hell's going on, and he's winning this whole thing. He's the one who's winning.
Yeah. He's smarter than everybody. I keep telling people that. Nobody believes me. Dude, when I had my first boxing match and they had him dressed up like Don King, remember that?
Yeah.
I fought Angry Black. I won, but I got a draw, whatever. Fucking Beetlejuice was in the ring, and he literally said, like, I'm smarter than all these people. He said that. He goes, I make money. That's it. Because I was like, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan. and we talked for about 20 minutes, and he was fucking funny as hell, man.
Yeah.
And he's real. He was real. He was a little short on the attention and intelligence, but he was real. He knew what was going on. He knew he was being exploited, but he was exploiting them because, dude, who makes more money at appearances than Beetlejuice? He probably made more money than Stuttering John ever made doing comedy.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. How is your relationship with Tom Chiasano? Not now. I'm sure you don't have one.
I haven't heard from him in years. He retired with a big fat pension.
You guys, did you get along with him? I thought you did, right? He was okay to you.
Yeah, no, I got along with him too. He was like a dad, man. He was a really good guy. People don't realize what he had to control. Think of controlling that zoo. He was the zoo master.
Yeah, he was great.
You know, you're controlling 50 out of control egos, me being one of them. And you got to put them on the radio, live on the air, and hope they don't fuck your station up and get it shut down by saying fuck or whatever. That's the thing people didn't realize. And you did because you worked in TV. Well, you can't swear. You can say whatever you want. You just can't swear. Well, or describe a bodily fluid incident.
Have you run into Artie lately? I have to say, I think you're doing better than Artie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I haven't. Thank you. I haven't heard from Artie. He changed his number, and last I heard, he was, doing good. But I don't know, because if he was doing good, don't you think he'd be out there making money, being on the road and shit?
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah. I think we'll read about him in an obituary, unfortunately, next.
That's not good. I hope not. I don't, because he does.
I hope not too, dude. He was the king. He was funny as hell, and he was a nice guy, but he's got problems. He's got troubles.
You guys ever get out and
sometimes those troubles you can't escape.
You ever get out and party with him back in the day?
The one time I partied with him was when they did the benefit concert for me. After I got out of prison, the Lords of Brooklyn and some other guys got together, and Artie came and did some comedy. I think Shuli even did some comedy, and I hate that guy.
Why do you hate Shuli? What happened with that? What happened with Shuli?
I never liked him, man. He always tried to bury me on the air. Never liked him.
Yeah. Have you talked to Kane lately? What's up with Kane? You guys get along?
Talked to him the other day, probably a couple weeks ago. He's doing good. He's like a morning guy in Jersey now. He was in New York City, but now he's in Jersey.
Yeah.
He got fired from the old K-Rock, whatever it turned into. It's gone through like 16 different iterations after Howard.
Yeah. There's a guy in St. Louis who mentions you a lot, actually. Rizzuto. How do you know him? Give us a Rizzuto story.
He was working. He was an intern. He was like the interns that hand out T-shirts and shit. And he wanted to get into radio. And I told him, I'm like, dude, if you want to get into radio, you got to fucking leave New York City. Be a shark, because you're never going to get into radio in New York City. They're not. If they were going to put you on the air, you would have already been on the air. And he mentions me often.
I hear he'll say every once. I listen to that every morning, pretty much, if I'm not listening to Howard. And I hear a cabbie mention every once in a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to mention that to cabbie next time. Rizzuto.
I love Neckbeard. I should find his number, or maybe do a call into his show. Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, definitely. So we've gone a half hour. I've enjoyed. This has gone quick. Our Zoom call's gonna run out.
It has gone quick.
Anything you want to the folks here to know? Tell us what's going on.
I'm still working on doing a podcast. I got all the equipment. I just got to put it all together. I've been healing, so I've been taking some time for myself. But my podcast is definitely going to happen. I don't know what it's going to be. Probably a failure, like most podcasts.
Everybody has.
No offense.
You got to talk music.
Everybody thinks they can do a podcast.
Right.
I don't even know that I could do one.
You can talk music.
Don't.
I know you love music. You told me the last one. I came away from our last talk that I wrote this down. I wrote a little. I don't know if this is true, but I'm like, maybe he was misunderstood. He just wanted to play Pantera and deep tracks off of albums that he liked. He loves music. Maybe that's where people misunderstand.
That's it. How do you know that? You know that.
I listen.
That's me right there. I love music. I love deep tracks because there's so many better songs on the album than the ones the record executives want to hear. You know that. Yeah, man. I mean, when I first listened to Coldplay, I was like, Coldplay. Okay, they're all right. Wow. And then I listened to the whole record, and I was like, holy shit. And I brought it to my bosses, and they were like, oh, this is good. And I'm like, yeah, well, listen to this. And they were like, oh, my God. And I was like, yeah. And they put it on the air.
You should be a PD. This is where I get your PD from home. Program director.
Oh, God, I would be like I'd be a radio broadcaster's dream. Your PD's always at home. You never have to see me.
I had one note that I forgot to ask, and we'll leave on this. Riley,
go ahead.
Did you discover Riley Martin? Is that true? And how did that happen? I asked you about this, or is that not true?
That is not me. Okay. That is a lie.
I don't know.
Who said that?
I don't know. I don't even know where I saw that. Well, and I was going to mention too. I don't know if you've ever looked at your Wikipedia page, but our conversation is quoted in your Wikipedia page. I don't know how to edit anybody's Wikipedia, but you have a Wikipedia.
Are you cool with it being quoted?
Absolutely. It gets people coming over here.
You should edit my Wikipedia page because I can't. I learned that I can't edit it, and there's a bunch of lies in there.
I'll pass. I don't know how to do it.
Come on, edit my Wikipedia.
Tell Lexi. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get on there and start making shit up. Cabbie now has 3 dicks.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. No, I just want the truth printed. I'll give you the truth. They don't have the truth in there. They got lies. I mean, it's Wikipedia, though.
Well,
but at least somebody made a Wikipedia page about me. I can say that.
Yeah, you're a big deal. Crazy Cabbie.
Oh, fuck, I'm a big deal.
Hey.
I'm a big guy in a wheelchair is what I am.
We covered a lot of stuff here. I always enjoy these. I'm so glad we got to hook up again. It's been a year or so. I reached out maybe a month ago. It's good to see you. I really do. I hope you do well, man. I hope everything gets better for you. Let's get into rehab and see if we can get you walking again and get you into a radio station.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. And the best to you and your family. And I thank you for the interview. And, anytime you want to reach out, I'm around. So maybe we do something together and fuck everybody else.
Well, yeah, let me know when your podcast's ready. We'll let the 14,000 subscribers over here know about it. And they'll be excited. So.
See, that's big, man. That's big. That's more than I got on Facebook and all my social platforms. I'm not big on social media. No. I always said it was going to be the death of America.
It is. I think it is. Totally is. We could talk about that someday, but I don't want to get into that right now.
Poison.
We only have so much time. I thank you, Cabbie. I'm going to say goodbye to the audience. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.